Hello, fellow watchers and enjoyers. It is I, Piggy, and I am joined by Ash. Say hello, Ash.
Hello. I already yawned during the intro anyways, it's fine.
Yeah, just very quickly. And today we are going to be talking about the EastEnders, what happened this week in EastEnders. So, yeah, stick around. Today's it's episode 110. Sorry, I'm butchering my lines. I'm full of white lemonade. Today's episode is going to cover the biggest storylines and takeaways from week 10, I want to say. Week 6. I forgot to put the week in. Sorry about that. Of 2025.
Should be week 6.
Week 6. There we go. All the episodes from the 3rd of the 2nd, 2025, all the way to the 6th of the 2nd, 2025. Now, how this really goes is introduction, 30 minutes, and then I'll just read quickly what the topics are going to be. Phil continues to struggle. Ruby Allen special. Sydney continues to accuse. Sonia sees the confession. Denise is stuck between a Branning and a Gulati. And they're all the main
Not a bad spot to be honest.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously...
Fan fictions could never.
Speaking of fan fictions, we're not reading it. Stop, leave us alone, please. Stop harassing us.
We're not reading it. We're not reading the fan fiction.
I guess I should put that disclaimer in. That's going to be there at the minute. Make that a TikTok, Ash. Make that a TikTok.
Look, if you were here all year round, we would have read it. But if you only show up and ask us to do the fan fiction, we're not going to do it.
Yeah, we're not your little monkey. We're not your little monkey toys, alright? You're allowed to, comment. Maybe we'll read it, yeah. But only if you actually showed up and actually, I'm not saying, we're being too entitled. We're not. We're just you just showed up. You don't have to comment on every video. You don't have to, right? Honestly,
most of the bots most of them aren't even subbed.
Yeah, but just you showed up and you're like, can you read it? Not even please or can you please read it? No, yeah, I can say no. Fucking, why will you read it now? Come on. No, leave us alone. Come on. But yeah, so obviously now I'm just gonna talk to Ash and see how he's doing. So how are you doing, Ash?
Yeah, doing alright, honestly. I don't even know how I'd structure this week. I started getting into doing YouTube shorts. That's something I've done. It was something I've been telling Piggy to do the entire time. Because we'll have those conversations occasionally where it's like, can I do any more? And I go, short. Piggy's like, anything else? Anything else? Can I do anything else? How about I just keep doing exactly what I'm doing and not do anything extra? Which is basically how those conversations go. It's like, should I do anything more? And I'm like, all right, here we go. Brain time, here we go. And then I mentioned something. Piggy's like, slept for an hour. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Yeah, fair. That's how those conversations go. And I'll internalize them all.
And now...
But I'm now doing shorts. And honestly... If I did them on my own accord, I'd spend all the time keyframing and putting my own captions. But turns out you can just get them to do it for you. I'm like, whoa! I'm living in the future. Baby. Adobe Premiere just makes transcripts out of everything I say. Delicious. I just have to put it in the thing and correct it if it has any dodgy wording.
Yeah, because usually I found out when I was doing the captions last year. Yeah, I was the OG, guys. I was the OG of doing this. I found out last year, whenever I was talking, it's like that scene out of Hot Fuzz when they go up to that obviously British farmer, but he's I think it's Northern. He's just so much of a farmer you can't understand him, and that's basically what CapCut and Adobe.
Like Gerald from Clarkson's farm.
Yeah, they just can't understand me. I'm too special.
Too Irish.
And also, just so Ash is here, because he loves to shout outs. We got mentioned on the Curry Wiki. Not Wiki, the wrong one. Reddit.
Yeah. Someone said that we do EastEnders, Coronation Street, Emmerdale, and Hollyoaks news. I've done about 4 Emmerdale videos in the history of this channel, but thank you for lip servicing us. What they don't know won't hurt them. But yeah, no, that was cool. It's nice to. I mean, we're steadily aiming to be the most relevant current EastEnders podcast at this point. Maybe not in the podcast specific numbers, but the channel numbers. we're getting there. We are absolutely getting there, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. You might want to fix that light behind you, Ash.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not blinding anyone. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just whenever you move your head, it's just like, oh no, not light, not light.
Yeah, but it's not like it's actual light in your eyes. It's not ruining anybody's day.
No, it's not. It's not. I guess I'll just make it I'll just make it a timestamp so you can.
I mean, I could probably go through a bit more about the idea behind the shorts, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've now taken the shorts on properly, so there will be a short released today at like 6 p.m. And I don't know, the way I currently see it, and I'm sure they'll evolve as it goes along, because ultimately it's not the final form of the shorts, but it'll likely just be little snippets of the videos that are currently being released. I doubt I'll do any short specific related content, but it'll just be a cool way to shed the light on some of the bolder opinions and some of the stuff. So, you can still get some decent juicy stuff about the soaps, but if you didn't watch the whole video or you didn't go through the whole thing, now that'll just be turned into a lovely little short. But yeah, should have a decent chunk of them going on, and they're kind of fun. It's a nice little, it's a different approach to making videos in a way. And yeah, it's kind of sick, honestly. It's kind of fun. It's a nice little refreshing change from doing the long form stuff. So that'll probably I will shut that thing once you start your spiel. But yeah, it's been a fun little thing. I've been enjoying it so far. So time will tell how it continues, but maybe that's the next evolution of the channel. But yeah, I'm gonna shut that blind real quick.
Yeah, I guess what I wanted to discuss, and I did spearhead this with Ash, so he doesn't mind me discussing this, is I wanted to discuss, because obviously Marvel have released the new trailer for the Fantastic Four, and with that, with that came posters, and Marvel have denied this, and I'll pull it up in a second. They have denied this, that it's not AI, but it supposedly seems like they're using AI in their posters, basically. And the claim it's not AI, it's just they kind of filter it wrong. Like the AI might have advanced the graphics, they might have used like that, like they helped with the poster. But I'll just pull them up very quickly. And I sent Ash the article if he wants to just look at these posters.
Yeah, I've had a good look at them.
So obviously this one here is the Fantastic Four, like Art believes in you. You can tell like some people have like 3 fingers, some just have like normal signs. The next one is just a girl holding the Thing. Yeah, that's the Thing. He's a giant rock fella. And it just looks a bit off. Like if you look at these images, this one has a girl wearing mismatched shoes, and it's just, why does this one have an adult face? Like, look at that. Why does she have the Lucy Beale face? Like, and then you just have this girl with mismatched shoes, and then the last one is to celebrate the Fantastic Four. It looks all wrong. It's the thing, and I just wanted to bring this up because obviously we've used AI in the past, and we don't. I don't believe we condone AI. Well, I don't. I believe
depends on the use.
Yeah. And this is just going to be us talking.
I've come to enjoy some AI background music, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't. AI can be used for good. AI can be used for bad.
Yeah, and I guess that's my notes. Bloody hell! Just peek behind the curtain. Sorry, lads. I guess the discussion is just, what do you think of AI, basically, Ash? Being used in like posters and stuff. Do you think it takes away from the artist? Do you agree with it, or your stance really?
I mean, in this instance, I get the idea if you are like a small budget, low profile company and you don't have any like art designers on the team, but like if it is a Marvel product, yeah, they could probably make the posters themselves, right?
Yeah. but it's the problem we're seeing in like modern media is just why should I spend this money on an artist when I could just AI it? And it just makes it soulless. Who's the company that makes the Call of Duty games? Is it Activision?
Yeah.
I believe I've read somewhere, and I'll probably I'll be honest, I didn't read it.
Might be nonsense. Might be absolute nonsense. Just
but
full disclaimer.
yeah, just a disclaimer. I heard it from Louis, so yeah, there's my source. Mr. Louis Copeland, the actor. So if it's wrong, take it up with him. But I read somewhere that Activision were trying to get like on Call of Duty games. They were trying to get the actors to consent to them just being AI'd, like their voice being cloned, so they never have to pay them. So like say they need the guy to go, hey you, don't go there, but obviously don't want to pay him to say that line. They can just AI
that's a bit dodgy in my opinion, but it's also one of those things where typically these deals are negotiated by like a big flat rate, so it's about how usually they are buying the rights to use an AI version of their voice, but even then so you can still put it at odds because AI is not really at the point yet where the voices are fully accurate, even though they are getting better. Still, it's not really the same. Like, there was a big famous YouTube channel called Jim Cat Swim who would do like the criminal psychology, and they go through like police interrogations, and they would go through and discuss like the psychological techniques. And it kind of went through a bit of a bad spot, and YouTube decided it wasn't like fit for advertisers, and it basically just destroyed it. But as of late, they released a new video where the main voice actor turns out the voice was it was like his, but it wasn't really. And, you know, it felt off. And it turns out that they trained an AI voice, they trained an AI voice model on his voice. And it then even came like, is a script AI, you know, like it comes into a weird thing. I'm not entirely sure how it should be done, but like we're at the stage where AI is very steadily advancing, and I don't think we're at the stage where AI can fully replicate human stuff. But likewise, the issue with a lot of AI is a lot of it doesn't necessarily have the soul or the human element that it would otherwise. That's my take on it.
Oh, sorry. I was just sorry. So I was listening. I was just like, I like his thoughts. It just stroking my beard, like yeah.
Beard.
Yeah. So yeah, my picture there is not good. But my thoughts is just it's soulless creativity. I say that we've done AI songs and deepfakes, but the difference is
we're doing it for like a little fun, entertaining bit.
Yeah.
Not really a. Also, you say, I guess deepfakes is a term, but it kind of has some dodgy connotations.
We just put our faces on EastEnders characters in scenes.
Yeah.
You can go find that video. I genuinely loved doing that video.
It was good fun.
It was good fun. I would love to make that video again. I don't know if I will. I'll make a sequel to it at some point. But yeah, there's this channel popping up. And I guess I can put up a video if I want to, but I don't really want to give them credit. But have you seen the America's Got Talent AI videos? Well, obviously it's where it's. I guess I'll just Google it very quickly. It's where they get like obviously they get this AI like person, and it's like guy with 3 heads sings about like this song, and it's obviously AI, but it's just weird. It's just really weird. America's Got Talent.
I'm also saying you definitely cannot show anything from that because that will claim the video in its entirety.
No. It's AI. Don't worry.
Yeah, but they'll still claim it.
I'll just send it to you. I won't put it up, but bloody hell.
I mean, what's the big problem?
The point
why
is
why do you want to show it?
The point is, it's just people are now doing like this soulless content where they're getting like they're clearly AI in these clearly not real events and just claiming money off it. So like they're just doing nothing. They're just making cheap content. It's not actually beneficial. Does that make sense? Like I'm not going to say
Yeah,
we work hard for our paychecks, but in comparison, like we talk about EastEnders, in comparison, we do more like involvement, if that's the correct term to use. Like we actually earn our stripes compared to these
yeah,
people
like for
who.
sure. Like I mean, if you compare, like recently, we've got a lot of like fun comments with people saying like, it's really cool how you guys are very active in covering all the news as quickly as you possibly can. Which if you had it just AI, it's just like that's just what it's a sole thing that they're meant to do. I mean, I do agree to an extent. I like the idea of AI. I like what it can bring, but still, in the same way, in the wrong hands, it'll be abused, and that's not really a precedent you want to set. Like, I'm sure at some point there will just be stuff that's solely AI, but that's where, because it's not fully authentic, I assume that's where it'll stand out and be a bit uncanny. But like the stage where stuff is just AI, like, well, you can't tell, that's where it gets a bit scary.
Yeah, and like the only reason I brought up these American like talent videos is again these are clearly just easy clips to make. Well, easy in a sense, just putting a prompt, but it's just like clearly bullshit things where they just want to make money, and YouTube don't really do anything about it. They just kind of sit there and go, "Well, it is violating our terms of
I mean,
policy."
YouTube gets the money as well, right?
Yeah, so like it's just like why are you doing it? And that's my problem. Like with AI, it's just we used it for fun, but we're not using it to like make.
We're not using it to optimize our stuff.
Yeah, and like I also see that like people do AI Family Guy and AI Simpsons. I don't know if you've seen those live streams. It's a
I mean, say
fair.
that you're also a person who also enjoys a lot of the AI songs, though.
Yeah, that's where I can also chime in. If you're wondering, yeah, I listen to sometimes. So there's a person. Man really threw me on my arse. I do appreciate it. I was gonna bring that. That was gonna be my next, but I
So I was
do.
just holding you accountable.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Now I run into a bit of a problem because I like people who obviously sing the song, but they think they're not a good enough singer, so they put someone else's voice on it. Like for instance, I put in a request for someone if they could do it. I wanted to see how Tom DeLonge would sound if he sung "A Flock of Seagulls Never Meant," and which is the Tiny Dancer song, which Ash, I think I've sent to Ash before. Tiny Dancer is a brilliant song by Flock of Seagulls. And obviously, what this guy would do is he'd sing the song, he'd run it through an AI model. So obviously, he's singing the song. He's not just taking the guy of A Flock of Seagulls and just popping
Yeah, yeah.
Tom's voice on it. He is doing the mannerisms of Tom DeLonge. So he'd use like, "Ayo, here I am," all that sort of stuff. And then he will just AI Tom's voice on it as much as he can. And obviously, I don't mind that because, yes, he is using a famous person's voice, but he's not using it to like make him say the N word or something controversial. He's using it to see how this song would sound if this said person sung it. And I don't mind that. Another one was there was a band they were called Breezer, and they would basically make Oasis. What if Oasis made new songs where they'd make like obviously their own songs, but they'd put like Liam Gallagher's voice on it and
Yeah.
make it seem like, oh, this is like Liam singing on a new song. And obviously I didn't mind that either because they literally have stated that they literally wrote, they sung, they wrote, they did all the instruments, they just popped Liam's voice on it. And generally, some of the Breezer songs, like even in their normal voice, is amazing in my opinion. Tonight is a great song that they've done, and I'd recommend it. Breezer is a good band. I still haven't. I've listened to their full album. It's a brilliant band. And but yeah, that bit of AI I don't mind. That bit I don't mind, as long as you're putting all the effort in to like make it as authentic as you possibly can. Because if you're just going into the AI prompt going, make this sound like Tom DeLonge, make this music sound like Blink, make this sound like All Time Low, it just, you can't do it because AI can't replicate those songs. They can't replicate that. And that's, yeah, I do enjoy the AI songs to an extent. Like it is funny hearing Wallace sing My Way by Frank Sinatra. That I don't mind. But yeah, I just don't like AI. Yeah, that's my rant.
Right, you don't like the AI posters.
Yeah, I don't like the
You don't
AI
like the bad
posters.
use of AI.
I don't like the bad use of AI where it takes away someone's job. But if you're just doing it for fun, but you're putting your whole like work into it, that's where I think it's all right. If you're putting your full work into it, but you need it so say you have a 240p video, but you really need like the thumbnail to shine, so you just enhance the image. That I don't mind either, because you're just enhancing the image. You're not like using it for bad. But if you're using it
I
just
mean, I think that there's just the clear, like, yeah, it just has to be the intentions are actually worthwhile and not just unnecessary laziness.
yeah, exactly.
Because like how I pumped the rankings like script through an AI,
Hmm.
which I didn't really feel too proud about, but I felt like I needed some form of. I felt like an AI could probably make it flow a little bit better, but to that extent, it also made that video a lot less uniquely mine in the same way. But I also wrote like the entire thing beforehand, anyways. It's not like I just went. It's not like I just went write it for me, boys. So like I did write the whole thing and how I wanted it to go, and it still hit all the same beats. It just kind of changed how it was said, but in the same way, it made it distinctly less mine. So was it really worth doing? Don't know. Help me finish it though. But yeah, it's just I think it's a cool thing in its infancy. Like I mean, one of the more like there was a big thing in the last month where a channel called Norosama, the AI like content bot essentially. They did this like they basically just did this like 3 week long subathon because the number just kept on going. And it's the programmer and his like two like bots who are like basically content machines really, and they kind of became ridiculously popular. And the intrigue is because it is an AI and it comes across as relatively human, but at the same way there isn't necessarily the depth that you'd like it to have. That was the real problem where you think, oh, they're having these really human moments. It's like, yeah, but are they remembering you? Not really. Are they? Is it actually like? Does it have any feelings towards you? No, it doesn't. It's all just fugazi, right? It's all just nonsense.
Yeah, and I do
But
see.
still intriguing. Big movie studios shouldn't be using AI for posters.
No,
You got people for that.
yeah, it's just you're gonna run into the problem in years to come where AI is going to become undistinguishable, and you won't be able to tell the difference between like AI and actual. Like, you'll still be able to tell a little bit of a difference, but it'll become much harder. But yeah, on the same vein, like it's just I don't understand why you'd use it if you're a big company. I guess because you don't pay them, and Disney are known not to pay like people. Like they're just known. They're just if they can't get Pedro Pascal back for a scene, they'll just hire someone very quickly to fill in for him, and then just pop his face over it. Um, but yeah, in that sense, I don't like it. But if you're using it, but you're putting your whole soul into it, that's all right. That's all right in my opinion. As long as you put your whole soul into it, I ask you for a little bit of help. It's fine.
I
But
mean,
if
it,
you use it for
it
evil,
also generally comes to a point where if AI can do a better job than a human, at that point, it's kind of like your thing where all the factory workers upset because machines are taking the job, but machines can do it much more efficiently.
yeah,
Like, yeah, it's just the natural progression, right? You can't really still progress, even if even if it degrades the human element. Just how it be sometimes.
yeah,
Sometimes stuff gets taken over.
yeah. It's a sad like reality. But yeah, I do agree. And I guess just to wrap around, I'm gonna just do how I'm doing, and then I guess I'll just get into the EastEnders after that. I'm doing alright. I just wanted to bring up that discussion of AI. When Ash dropped me in with that music bit, I was like, you dirty bugger. See, YouTube, we're fine. We're not harassing each other. Um, but yeah,
Well, it's just, I mean, just the instances I just don't really have other than the stuff I mentioned. Just don't really mess with AI. It's a cool idea. It's cool. It's like do I occasionally think it would be funny if when I'd stream there would be like an AI bot that would respond to chat? Maybe that would be slightly funny, but fundamentally just don't really interact with it. So, but yeah, keep going. Sorry.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. a bloody paycheck better be bloody worth it, I'll tell you what. But like, I'm just doing all right. I just got a bit annoyed at the Fantastic Four like poster reveal. That was all. I know it's a bit weird to get angry over a poster.
Sounds like a very internet person to do. Termly online. The bloody poster's AI. Yeah. What about the film? Is the film not AI? No, the film's all been made by people. The bloody posters. They're just taking the piss, man.
Yeah. Thanks. Well,
you're allowed to have your feelings. They're all valid.
Yeah. Just bloody calling me a terminally online person. I am terminally online, but that's besides the point. Okay. I do read all your comments. Stop asking about the fan fiction. We'll get AI to do that for you. But I'm doing all right. The trailer for the Fantastic Four movie, it looks good. I feel so bad because they obviously did a live stream where they like got a woman in a space station with like the actors, and obviously she was struggling. She was trying to ask them questions, but just like me doing the podcast, she struggled a little bit, and like everyone was like, "Bloody hell! Why did you get this woman? Why did you get this bloody woman?" I also seen people are complaining about like Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn in the new Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man show. They're black and people are upset, and I'm like, and why? Why would you be upset? Stanley always wanted you to be like they can be anyone, and Norman Osborn is a villain, so why would you care? But my favorite was like someone, I don't know whether it's supposed to be funny or not, but someone like did the characters of Harry and Norman, like, and then they put their real life counterparts of obviously Willem Dafoe and James Franco to it, but they obviously like coloured in their faces and give them the hair, which was an alright image. I have to say it's alright. It's a weird image, but yeah, people are just getting upset over everything.
I mean, one thing that I'd be funny, and this can round out the 30 minutes of the podcast. One thing that's been fun is that the one thing that has been a bit of final my initial opinion. Basically, there's a YouTuber called The Critical Drinker, who one of my brothers watched and kind of got swept up in the like, oh yeah, because they'd be a channel being like, oh yeah, modern mainstream media, diversity hires, just going woke, lack of substance. But me the whole time, I'm like, he's just a conservative nut job who's just angry because one of the demographic of people who are like, I'm angry. Your light just flickered. Just one of the people who gets angry when people bring politics into it, but that's the only lens they see things in, and they're judging movies on their like fairly right wing conservative politics. And I saw it from the start, but my brother didn't. But finally he's realised that he's just a bit of a nutcase. Because he made his own movie, made his own like short film. And lo and behold, it had a lot of the shortcomings that the stuff about he complains about. And it was finally nice to get that vindication, because I hate people who... if you're trying to be an actual critic, if I'm trying to be an actual EastEnders critic, my word has to actually stand up for genuine critique. I'm not going to say I like something because gay, or I like something because it's just fun. There has to be some actual reasoning to it, and it shouldn't be influenced by like whatever I feel like politically or something. It's just it's nice for it to that era where it's been put to bed. I no longer have to listen to him rabbit someone else's opinions about media that he doesn't watch.
Also,
I've won the war.
Oh, you won the war. Just to wrap my point around, it is funny seeing people with the new Fantastic Four movie also getting annoyed that the Silver Surfer is a woman. But if you look at the Silver Surfer, he has no bollocks. Like, if you generally look at the Silver Surfer, he's completely naked. He's an alien. And it's just funny. It's just funny that people are getting annoyed over the simplest things. It's so funny, like, when like, you say, bloody hell, bloody, why are you doing this to my Marvel? Making it woke. It's always been woke, mate. That's why the X-Men were created. You don't understand Marvel if you don't understand why the X-Men were created, why certain heroes were created. But yeah, I guess now I'll go into the EastEnders. We're at the 30-minute mark, so now it's time to discuss the EastEnders. Give me a timestamp, Piggy. There we go. Super at 40 right now. So yeah, Phil Mitchell continues to struggle. This week, yeah, we've seen Phil Mitchell degrade even more. Is degrade the right word? Degrade?
Yeah. I mean, his mental health's deteriorating. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, entirely.
So in Monday's episode, Nigel and Phil go on a lovely date. Well, Phil doesn't want it, but Nigel's like, "Come on, mate, come on."
It's like that brother who you bring along because you're feeling uncomfortable. So can you stay with me? And then like you actually start bedding in, and it's like, oh yeah, no, but you can't leave though. It's like, well, why not? My job's done.
Yeah. Sorry, I just have to go back to the thing. So yeah, he brings Phil along, and Phil just is like so fed up. He's like, Nigel, please, I don't want to do this, Nigel. Stop it, please, Nigel. And they basically meet.
Well, he doesn't say it like that. He just says it angry.
Yeah, and then they meet these two women. Do you know their names?
I don't know. The one sounds like a modern day. She got the same voice as Ethel, which was fun.
There was Ethel, and then there was another woman.
Yeah, I think maybe she was called Sarah.
I think her name was Sarah, as Ash mentioned. And Sarah basically talks to Phil as Nigel and Ethel go get a drink. Hopefully I meant that correct. Something correct. And Phil, she's like talking about like, oh, my brother this, my brother that, my brother died.
Well, was she really saying it though? Because she says you're just a sad old sod. But what Phil sees her saying like, oh, you know, when I lost my brother, when I lost my family, I worked in the garage and I tried to get through it and I tried to work hard and, you know, being there reminded me of them. But what she actually said was, you're just a sad old sod. But what he sees her saying really hits him and really makes him think, so he just gets angry and smashes a glass and storms out.
He just grips the glass and like just like
Yeah.
the way that glass broke was impressive, honestly. So yeah, he goes back. He debates ending his life. He tells Harry to leave because earlier in the episode, Harry and Phil got a new car, and he really wants Harry to. Like,
it's a classic, like vintage. I don't know the type, but it's a nice looking older car.
And basically, Phil tells Harry to leave, just to leave, and he carbon monoxides himself because he starts the car engine, and then just the car.
Yeah, like, you know, just sets the car on, lets all the carbon monoxide flood everywhere, shuts all the windows, shuts all the doors, sits in carbon monoxide where if you're exposed to a lot, it will kill you.
Yeah, and I told Ash what would have really made me cry is if he had the radio on and just in timely manner, just either no surprises played, fake plastic trees, the two sad Radiohead songs, or as Ash said to me, "Where Is My Mind" by the Pixies, but specifically the piano version, and I would have went, Ash, please, because that would imagine just your feet are on the edge, and it's just like him like slowly falling off and says, "No, Phil." It was still sad scene.
Yeah, and we'll talk about this scene more in particular, but like when they've done this in previous iterations, not EastEnders, in Coronation Street, they had when Aidan Connor, when he took his own life, you saw him just kind of like sat at like a family get together, just kind of stone faced, but clearly still struggling. Then you see him like crying, like ready to go. And they play Cosmic Love by bollocks, Florence and the Machine. And oh gee, that song just bloody hell. And then like the day after his dad finds him and you don't see it, you just hear a like visceral scream and you're like, oh God, no. tears, and then Gail Platt does like a monologue about how you never really know what's going on behind closed doors, and it's like, fuck's sake, crying my eyes out. Really good, really tremendous. But yeah, this, and then in the end, Phil kind of realizes he's coughing. But he gets out the car. He's clearly like the fumes getting to him, so he's all wobbly. Then he just falls down the pit. But honestly, and I know they weren't exactly. I don't think they were going for like the bleakest of sadness. Like it's supposed to. It's still a very big deal because it's Phil Mitchell and he's finally decided it's time to go, and that in itself is sad. But like, I think it's smart in a way that, in a sense, it's probably the most like toxic masculinity way to go about it. If you say that like in a fancy car in your garage, cars is like a stuff that people go into as a hobby, but sometimes there's a bit of escapism. In a way, it's a really like it embodies Phil's problem of not being able to talk to anyone because he'd rather go and like box or rather go like work on cars and not actually deal with his problems. But still, it didn't really. I'm very metric if it made me cry because EastEnders doesn't really make me cry that much at all. But I don't know. For me, it wasn't as sad as it could have been. But I don't think that's a them problem. I think that's a me problem.
Yeah, but like my point is, if you add music to the scene, it would be incredibly like it from.
Yeah, but that would be a bit Hollyoaks.
Yeah, but I know they wouldn't do it. But like I just imagine the Pixies playing like "Where's My Mind," just as Phil falls, and then like the camera pans up, and it's just like him just on the ground like that. Yeah, I would have been in tears. I would have been. There would have been no. I would have had so many tears cried. There would be no tears left. But continuing on.
But yeah, and just the end bit is he just falls into the pit, and then like, is he gonna survive? Is he not? We'll find out.
Spoiler alert: he survives. As next day, Harry finds him in the pit. If you're wondering where Nigel went home with Ethel and Sarah. Bloody lucky man. Lucky man got a lovely bit of grub.
Also, just reiterate in case people are getting upset. Obviously, she's not called Ethel. She just has a voice that's somewhat similar to Ethel.
Yes. We just don't know her name, so we're just calling her Ethel. Sorry if that does like wind people up, but that's just what we're going with, okay?
I think it might be Julie, honestly. No, Julie's his wife. Never mind.
Yeah.
Keep going.
She does sound like a Julie. If you just have a Julie name, though, doesn't it? It just that name.
Julie noted.
Don't call me Shirley. So yeah, Nigel goes home. Harry spots him. He gets Teddy and Billy, and Teddy checks on him, and Phil's just like, he's not responding. And he goes to get in the ambulance, and they tell Nigel to go with him. And at the hospital, the doctor talks to Phil, and he's like, "Well, Phil, I see you're struggling, but people care about you. They should just open up." And Phil's just like, whatever. Like me on my meeting recently, where I was in there for about 10 minutes, and there's like, "Oh, Piggy, how you doing? Grand. Anything wrong with you? No. Would you like your medication still? Yes. Any suicidal thoughts? No. Grand. See you in 6 weeks."
Yeah.
Because I'm a very hard person, if you couldn't tell, to open up. Stick up in that mentality, sadly. Unless I'm talking to Ash, then I'm bloody bawling my eyes out. Because Ash is a sexy man. But yeah, Phil basically gets comfort from the doctor, but he just doesn't listen.
The doctor tries to reach out to Phil, just like, hey, we do have people to talk to, have really good people to talk to. If you want to speak to a professional, we're all there. But like I said, Phil's just kind of like, well, see ya. Sorry. No, I'm going home. Let me leave. And he just goes, fair enough. Like, you can't force him to get help.
it's very hard to. I'll just make it a point because obviously if you're new to this channel, you couldn't tell. Me and Ash have a bit more like to the eyes. Like we do suffer from depression and stuff. I say we because I generally forget if Ash suffers from depression or not. I do say
I
we.
I have in the past.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. That's why I would say
mental
we.
health isn't a given.
Yeah,
Definitely struggled a lot in the past. I'm very much in a pretty good place at this point in time and have been for a while, but still struggle with anxiety and depression. So
yeah. And I hear voices in my head. I still have a narrator in my head whenever like I walk into a room or something. Like I've only heard that one in like 40 people have like a narrator in their head, and I'm just like, what? Does no one else have a narrator in their head? When the box is blue. Piggy walked in and seen a man has blue shoes. He did not like that. I just have a guy in my head telling me everything. Like,
I have no internal monologue.
it's great. It's not a great thing. It's not a great thing because then it
Like
starts insulting you.
I can. There is no like some people have like an internal monologue of what they're gonna do and what they think and how they think. My brain, like I could say you can imagine just some tumbleweed just going through. Any thoughts? Nah, not really. Maybe obviously subconsciously, yeah, but it like at one point in time, is there anything going through through this head? Not really, no.
Yeah. I have an inner monologue, and I sometimes hear voices, two angry voices. If you go to me granddad who died in the shitter, who nearly died in the shitter with a bulldozer, came flying in and nearly killed him, and someone else that I'm not going to bring up. Yeah, I do suffer with voices, so like that's why I try and humor these bits because like as much as it is depressing, I do not want to make it depressing for the podcast, and that's why I kind of like try and make it a bit more happy, and be serious when I'm talking about it. But I try and make it a bit more lively, so it's not like just a Debbie Downer like oh we're all gonna die, the world's ending, your life is shit. Like obviously if you struggle, you struggle. You just tell someone important and then get your help. It took me about 7 years to get help because whenever I went to a doctor and told them, like I hear voices that just went, you're just a silly fat teenager. Fuck off. Well, they didn't directly say it like that, but they just meant, you're a teenager, so on.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's
It's
harder.
always hard. It's always hard.
Yeah, and then you
You know,
get.
the biggest step is actually like wanting and feeling like you can start to. Well, it's just there's no template for how to get by. Right? There's no. Yeah, sure, you can like go to school and you can do your job and you can try fill like A to Z, and some days you'll only get A to B, and that's fine. But there's no like template as to how you're supposed to have your life together. We
Yeah,
all take different roads, we all have different struggles, and it's just about finding the best way for you, simply saying. And that's generally what life is about at the end of the day. For me, like, the one thing that's kind of wild is to me, there's some people who will just not feel anxiety or not feel like. Obviously, they'll get a bit sad sometimes, but not struggle with depression, which is just wild to me because that's worlds away from my experience.
it's
But then I do have autism, so the brain does work differently.
and I'm still waiting to be diagnosed with autism. Surprisingly, I definitely do have autism though. If you look at me, if you look behind me, like if you couldn't tell, I probably definitely do. I didn't get the train autism or the dinosaur autism. I got the collecting memorabilia autism. So sad times. I wanted to be like Francis Bourgeois, the guy with the GoPro cam on his head, going up to the train
But
stations. But
but
yeah, just to wrap around because I did ramble a little bit there. Yeah, we like whenever we talk about Phil's depression storyline. I know I'm saying this when we're halfway into what happened in the week. We will try and just bring up little stories about like what we like, how we struggle and how we deal with it, and generally if you need help. As much as it's fun to listen to two silly YouTubers talk about EastEnders, if you really are struggling, just find someone and talk to them. Does anyone can help? Well, anyone can help if they're not a dick. Is my point.
But I mean, if I'm just going to get into the minutia though with this, obviously Steve McFadden's doing an exceptional job because fundamentally it's a one-man show in a way. Like and especially as we'll get into on his scenes later on, it is a one-man show. Like he's talking to himself. He is battling himself, and that is a really compelling narrative. But we can get into that a bit later on. Just want to keep going. So yes, Phil's suicide attempt doesn't work out. It doesn't go ahead, and he's then let to deal with the consequences. People are concerned, but is he going to let anybody know that?
No. And basically, Nigel tries to get through to him, but Phil just tells him that you're a weasel. You've always been a weasel. Get out of my life. And Nigel just reluctantly leaves.
Just some really cool lines. Like sometimes I think Nigel says something like, "Sometimes even a lion needs needs help, even if it's from a mouse." I'm like, oh, fantastic! What a line. But then, once he sends Nigel away saying he's a parasite and he's never wanted to be there and he's just there to sponge off him, and he sends him away, and then Phil sits in his chair, just talking to a jacket on the sofa, kind of battling with himself internally, believing that someone's there trying to talk through his problems. And there is no one there. It's his own internal monologue, and you can see him just going through the motions like, hey, just working himself up more and more because he just can't handle how things are.
Yeah. And
really good.
Generally, Steve McFadden has knocked it out of the park. We've been getting comments on our videos going, lads, you should check out Steve McFadden's performance. And generally, yeah, it is brilliant coming from a guy who does see things in the room that aren't there sometimes, and generally what's the correct term I'm trying to use? We generally sees Phil's perspective, I guess, is the correct way. I do find it amazing. I do think he's knocking it out of the park. I believe the next set of scenes is Phil talking to Sharon, and Sharon's like, "Oh, Phil, you going?"
He takes out. Well, first Sharon pops over when he's met up with Amelia, who is the escort that Gina talked to about what Junior was doing the night Cindy got attacked. And she sees him. He yells at her. She gives him his card. He calls her. She kind of says, "Oh, it happens to men your age." Blah blah blah. Sharon interrupts. Brings Albie over. But then Phil, even with Albie, still kind of zones out and isn't really fully present. Which, if anybody's ever struggled with depression, it's the lacking. It is lacking the energy to care. It's lacking the energy to expend, to even be present. Because you can get trapped in your head a lot of time with anxiety and depression. One thing that I don't take for granted is actually, it's like family scenarios. Like, oh, we're all together, but you're still in your head, just struggling to be present. It's something that I'll never take for granted because I family things I've done where I've just been mentally checked out and dealing with all my own stuff, when you'd rather actually just be there and engaging, but you don't have the energy. You're too tired. You don't it's not that you don't care or you don't want to be involved. You just physically and mentally can't do it. So it's like I said, it's just really, really well done.
Yeah. And he tries to talk to Albie, but he literally can't. He's just zoning out. And Sharon talks to him, and he just tells Sharon to leave. That's really it. He just tells Sharon to bugger off, and she buggers off. I will also mention I don't really make this a focal point, but also I struggle with nail biting. I just want to bring this up with my anxiety and stuff. And I've ruined my fingers. You can't tell. Look at that. Just do not nail bite, lads. Trust me, you will regret it.
Yeah.
Just looking at that, even Ash, whenever he sees my fingers, he's like, "Damn it." Jesus.
Yeah, it's oh, that's rough.
That is rough. Yeah, that's all the filled scenes. Unless you have any more on that.
No, it's setting up for Grant's return, inevitably next at the tail end of Thursday's episode. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there's a shot out there where I kind of make the joke where he's gonna show up for 10 seconds in Thursday's episode. He's gonna look at Phil and say, "What?" Or some shit like that, or just like, "What? I hear you've been yelling at people," something like that, some nonsense like that.
I've heard you've
But
been a
no,
Wally.
it's like I said, it's truly tremendous stuff, and I've always generally been lamenting that some of the worst bits about previous eras of the show is that Phil would only act at Christmas, and this is him like continuing and getting to see a truly big story. Because I'm pretty sure it was a thing where Steve McFadden genuinely said, "Guys, I'm old now. I don't really want to be the main guy in the show anymore. Like, just I'll still be here and you can still use me, but fundamentally, I don't, I don't like. I'd rather do other stuff. I don't want to be the main character of the show, for example." And with the recent years, it's been him kind of given a new lease on life with his relationships with Kat, for example. But even then, so other than this, just exploring Phil and Phil as a character. And I mean, Soap Study, the YouTube channel, did a really good video about Sharon Gate and about Sharon and Phil as a whole. And I don't want to like go too deep into it because it is a genuinely good video where he kind of goes into Sharon and Phil's relationship is built on trauma, which is why it never really worked beyond those times. It was built off the back of trauma, and that's no real way to start a relationship. Simply saying. And that as well is why Phil is the way he is, because he's not talked about his feelings due to trauma. He's not talked about it due to his own struggles. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing in the flashback episodes where we see Phil, we see young Peggy, we see Eric, we see Nigel, we see Grant, we see all these characters, and we get to learn why Phil has never been able to open up to anyone. We have our inklings, we have our ideas, but fundamentally, we will have the exact reason why Phil just can't really talk about his feelings. He's always described as a more sensitive soul, and he's always described as the more sensitive one in comparison to Grant, but we will genuinely get to know why Phil is the way he is. And that's like a really cool thing that they're going to be able to experiment with. So that's what I'm looking forward to for sure.
And continuing on, I guess now it is time for the Ruby Island special.
I honestly don't remember what Ruby does this week. Martin spends time reminiscing about the past with Stacey. After Ruby got the sign all sorted, we finally get Martin's Fowler's fruit and veg. Finally, after all this time, he spends some time reminiscing about the past with Stacey in the pub, talking about Arthur, talking about Lou, talking about Pauline, just talking about the past and how things could have been, saying how he lost an old tape of Arthur being on a game show in a fire. It's just sorry, that's all that. That's not very much with Ruby as far as I remember.
Well, now it's time for thank you for the checkup. This is gonna be an easy timestamp. Thank you, lads. It is now time for Cindy's got a gun. She hasn't got a gun. So Cindy,
but she will.
She will soon be packing heat. So if Cindy could. Oh, bollocks. Sorry, I'm doing the timestamps and I bloody messed up something. But anyway, Cindy continues to accuse. So yeah, in Monday's episode, Ian for some reason throws a curveball, and it's just now annoyed at Cindy for some reason.
Well, it's just because Cindy's kind of fell back and is spending a lot more time with Junior.
Fair enough.
And she was staying with Junior, so he's like, "Oh, great. So even though I'm looking after you, you're with him. Great. Sound. Cheers. Get out. Leave now." Well, he doesn't do that yet, but even then, so I honestly, I don't think we need to get into the specific minutiae of this stuff. Cindy essentially is just accusing literally everyone. She spends the week accusing Kathy. She tries to set her up to say that she was the one who attacked her, but Kathy doesn't fall for it. Ian spots her recording on the with her phone, and she's just accusing literally anyone. She's losing the will. He's losing the trust of anyone. She's accusing literally anyone. She goes from accusing Kathy to accusing Ian, and it's just kind of she is still the main pillar of this anniversary week, along with the Reese and Sonia stuff and the Phil stuff. But man alive, it is being quite insufferable to see Cindy constantly keep on accusing literally anyone who even looks at her slightly wrong. But obviously it's setting up for Cindy to get the gun and possibly shoot someone or something, leading to the Queen Vic fire or leading to someone's death.
Yeah, and just my thoughts on this before I get to the final two subjects of why everyone is ultimately here for. Yeah, Cindy, I'm getting kind of annoyed at Cindy just accusing everyone. I'm like, we're going around in circles, lads, but that's the entire point, because the entire point is she has to accuse everyone. When the reveal finally happens, you finally go, oh, bloody hell. But it is funny because she is literally accusing anyone that comes into her site for no well, she has a perfectly reasoned excuse. But it is funny because she's just like going around in circles. I forget who done the song Circles, but it is like that song Circles.
What by Post Malone?
No, not by Post Malone. It's by a different band. There is a Post Malone song called Circles, but it's not that one.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
I'm going around in circles.
I mean, you don't need to know. Be fine. Someone will know.
Yeah. Thank you. So now, I guess it is time for Sonia sees the confession. That is all I have on that. These timestamps bloody piss. Oh god, where's my mouse? There we go. Sonia sees the confession. Right. So nothing really happens with Sonia this week, but some big developments. Lauren goes to Sonia and says, look, Natalie, not Natalie, Sonia, look, you're leaving, I know, but I need you to look at this tape, because something seems off here. Reese does not seem himself. He's never seemed himself. Honestly, he's a screw loose.
It's basically, I get that you have a vested interest in Reese, but I don't, and I spot a fish. I spot something fishy about this. We have no allegiance to him. We have allegiance to Bianca. You need to figure it out, because is that really how it wants to be? So Sonia gets into her head that she needs to see the confession to really make up her mind, because if Bianca did kill Debbie, she has to know herself. She wants to be able to look her in the eye and see that she did it, because she's known her all life. Bianca's not a murderer. She wouldn't do something. She wouldn't go that far. I'm sure Bianca may attack someone and someone inadvertently dies, but she's not a murderer. She's not a cold-hearted killer. So Sonia gets the footage from Jack, looks at it. It is kind of shocked, but you can tell, and as we'll see, this becomes a bit of a fixation, and we shall see exactly how it unfolds. Obviously, the idea and the potential is that Sonia will notice the dollhouse, realizing there's only one person who has this dollhouse. It's Reese, and that means she, is she locked up somewhere? No one else has this weird-looking, eerie dollhouse. But Reese sees that she's watching the confession, but he also knows that he can't really delete it, because that would be one lie too far. So he just kind of accepts that she's listening to it and can't really do anything about it. But he's still a bit creepy about it, because she's like, "Oh, fine, Reese is doing something else. He's sandpapering the changing station or some, I don't know, whatever the fuck it's called." But then the second she plays the footage, Reese is over the corner, watching anything. So it's setting the stage for him to be creepier, but still it's Sonia bursting with curiosity. Will it be her or Reese's downfall?
Yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth. That would have took me a minute.
That's a lie.
Yeah, my point was gonna be, it is funny how Sonia is just oblivious to all of this. Like, it is funny. I wonder, like, will it happen sooner? Because next week is where it gets dark for Sonia, I believe. Where Ray starts to become more a creepy man, a creepy bollocks.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see how Sonia copes with that. Because obviously he's getting a bit more... Well, he's not getting sadistic. I don't think he'll stab her. But he is getting, like, a bit more like, oh, Sonia, what are you doing? Sonia, you should stay with me, Sonia. Sonia, stay with me. And it's like, Jesus, Reese, calm down, calm down. My thought is this shouldn't spearhead the 40, but it is. And he's possibly...
we don't need to make that point again.
Yeah. And
it's not been great, but we're nearing the end, fingers crossed.
Hopefully. I can't wait for when he's in the car and he crashes in the Queen Vic, hopefully. And dies, hopefully, in the show. And people are speculating that Sonia might die. Possibly.
There's no way. There's no way Sonia dies.
Because she's leaving,
obviously. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, honestly. I mean, but Natalie Cassidy is one of those people where she is synonymous with a show. You know, we joke she's not a legend, she's not an icon, but she is still synonymous with the show. It would be a big deal if she were to die, but if she did, she'd have the baby first. The only real interesting thing is that people think that the second fan vote might be to name Sonia's baby, but it's probably just going to be called like Dorothy, or I don't know what they call it if it was a boy.
Debbie.
Or like Arthur. I don't know. Nah, there's already an Arthur. Yeah.
And I guess the last topic to discuss is that Denise is stuck between a Branning and a hard place and a Gulati. What is this time? There we go. So yeah, throughout the week, Denise is like seeing Ravi, but Ravi's too busy. Ravi's like, I'm not interested. I have meetings coming up. Leave me alone. I have meetings. And also he misses his son's dialysis because he has meetings, Ash. Did you know he has meetings? Did you know he has meetings, Ash? Did you know that?
We know what the meeting was. He needed to pick up from a dealer.
Yeah, no, but I'm just ramming home the point because EastEnders rammed home the point to me that he had a meeting. Did you know he had a meeting?
It wasn't that. It wasn't stressed out that much.
And he had a lot of meetings. And Priya just confesses that she has feelings for him. He gets annoyed at Priya.
Well, it's the day of the day of the will reading.
Yeah. The day before the will reading.
Yeah.
The day before the will reading, Ravi like confesses to Priya, like, Priya, you're amazing, Mom. You're amazing. Don't stop putting yourself down, love. You're fucking amazing. You know that you got the superstar sticker. You are amazing. And Priya goes in for a kiss. They kiss, and then Ravi's...
I mean, it's more so the idea that Priya's upset because she doesn't want Ravi to let the kids down by doing all these drug deals and like doing all this dodgy work, potentially putting himself in the firing line. She doesn't want him. She doesn't want the kids to lose him because she feels like she already lost him a long time ago. She knows how far he went, and she knows like with the bad stuff he did. She doesn't want that to reflect on the kids. She doesn't want that to ruin what they have going. But still, you know, she has loved him in the past, and she still loves him, and she still wants to be with him, but she doesn't want to lose him again. Doesn't want to lose him to the world of crime.
Yeah.
And that's when they lean in for a kiss.
And they kiss, and she's calling a cab. No, she's not. And they kiss, yeah, as I said, they kissed. And the following day, the will is being read. And, well, I'm sorry, but I'm laughing at this. Bernadette is in the will, lads. She's in the bloody will.
Bernie is the trustee of Nugget and Avani's businesses. And she will have full control till they turn of age. And then the rest of all the businesses go to Ash and Vinny, which is a fun little revelation.
Yeah. The fun revelation. Sorry.
Wait, what you get distracted by?
Nothing. I'm laughing at in my head. I'm laughing at Bernie getting the businesses. They're getting. So she's not leaving anytime soon. Her
Yeah,
job
that
is.
was the joke, right? That was the joke. I made the joke to my brother, like, this is how Bernie has another year on the show.
Yeah. But I can't see her signing it over to like Sucky. I can.
Yeah, why would she? She played a part in Keanu's death.
Fine, Ravi.
Nah, you're Bernie. This is like she said that she now has some power, right? She's gonna use it. She's Bernie. Hey guys, pay me to manage your money. Easy. Start skimming a bit off the top. Make your life better, Bernie. You've earned it.
And then Karen Taylor's like, "Oh, you could steal the money," on a voice call. You don't hear her voice, but she's like, "You could steal the money," and Bernie's like, "I can't steal the money." Yeah, everything is left to the kids, the grandkids, and the kids, Ash and Finny. Ash is definitely not coming back. She's far away from that soul. And we see Denise. Like Denise is there.
And this sets up Ravi's like complex of being like Nish's bastard, essentially the unwanted son who he never really cared for and would only use and manipulate, and he's still doing that from beyond the grave.
Yeah, and
which is why Priya goes ahead and is like, you know what? Fuck it, be the dealer. Why not? Let's make money. Let's show them better. Like, we've been surviving. We've done things we don't want to do, but at the end of the day, we've got to do this together. And that's where she leans in for another kiss, but Ravi doesn't go for it.
Yeah, because Ravi has feelings for Denise. Would you believe that? And would you believe? Yeah, like I said, would you believe that? And throughout the week, he's trying to coerce Denise, like, for love, and Denise just bats it off, and then she finally admits when the fuse blows, like, I do have feelings for him. I do have feelings for him. And she goes back to the kitchen, not the kitchen, the restaurant, into the kitchen, confesses to Ravi, and they just have a lovely kiss. They just have a wholehearted kiss.
I mean, this also, after the kiss yesterday, Priya goes ahead and is like, oh, Ravi's like, there is someone else, Priya. Even though we kissed yesterday, there is someone else, so don't get this twisted. And it's obviously important framework for what comes later.
And obviously, Denise has to choose between Ravi and Jack, but this time she chooses Ravi. Why? Because she really wants to. And Ravi the next day, like, Denise breaks up with him, I guess, and his response is to get her a rose, and he gives her a rose, but the rose is just dead, and he breaks into the house basically, and Bernie comes in and is like, lads, someone's breaking into your house. And they run into the house to, like, see who broke in, and it's Ravi. And then Ravi confesses to everyone that he loves Denise.
Well, it's just they're both like adjusting their clothes because they've clearly been getting busy.
No, they were just playing with Thomas the Tank Engine, Nothing bad. They were just playing Super Smash Bros. For the Melee for the GameCube. Nothing else, Ash, you dirty-minded man. And like, yeah, Ravi confesses that he loves Denise, and Denise the following day is just like,
Well, and then you have all the reactions. Jack's like obviously furious because he thought him and, well, it's just you had the choice because during the episodes a fuse blew in the salon once again, the electrics being dodgy, setting up for the 40th, big fire, he's like, Ravi, can you fix this fuse for me? And Ravi's like, oh, I'm just so bloody busy. And then Jack goes and does it, and like they have a little drink, and she, like, as you mentioned briefly, she's like, Ravi, I don't know if this is it. But then obviously it's the big reveal because Bernie, like I said, a part of me wanted it to be Bernie doing this maliciously, which, like, oh my god, someone's breaking into your house. As like Ravi finally confesses, like, look, Denise, this is what I want. I want you. I want to be together. I don't care about all the secrecy. I want this to be real. And that's when Bernie goes and tells the whole family, and they all gather outside the house, like, oh, quick, there's a burglar. Everybody get out. Jack's in a hot tub, like, gets out, gets in the dressing gown, seeing what's going on. And then they bang on the door, and it's like, Denise, come quick! And they usher Denise out, and then Ravi pops out, like adjusting his shirt, and then Priya's like, "Oh, this is the other woman, then. Great. I hope you're happy." And Jack's like, "What the fuck is going on here?" And then Ravi's like, "We love each other." It's like, you've only been seeing each other for 2 minutes, man.
Yeah, and then Chelsea just gets mad at Denise, arguably so. She gets mad at Denise, and it's like, yeah, you do know that was my boyfriend, your daughter's boyfriend. So that's a bit weird. And then Chelsea moves in with Jack because she can't live with Denise anymore. And then Denise and Denise and Ravi just talk, or they go to the Queen Vic, and Ravi absolutely let one rip at Jack, and Jack cowardly tried to let one rip at Ravi, but he just failed.
Well, they both have a confrontation, right? Oh yeah, this is what you want then. Yeah. And then Ravi's like, "Oh well, you're not so rosy. You're not so rosy yourself, Jack. You sold your one daughter down the river to save your other. It's just all the barbs are thrown, and in the end, Denise kind of goes. They both act like petulant kids, and Denise is like, "Why the fuck did I choose either of you?" And this kind of pits the. Sorry, Raisin.
I was gonna say, I just wanted to do it because I just wanted to bring it up again. But it's funny because Jack's like, "Well, yeah, Ravi, you're shit dad," and Ravi's like, "Yeah, your daughter's legs got broken because you couldn't complete a case. So fuck you." And then Jack's like, well, your hair's not cool. It's shit. And then Ravi's like, "Yeah, your daughter sucks. So fuck off. What are you gonna do, mate?" And then Jack's like, "You're not nice. Leave me alone." He just can't come back from it. He gets absolutely roasted. He's like me in an argument with you, where you try and give up valid points and I try and give valid points. We just go, no, you stink. No, you stink. It's just two children bickering. I loved it. I just loved it.
Yeah, and Denise just generally goes, fuck both of yous. I've made the wrong choice either way.
Yeah.
But and that's because I said this in another thing. It should be a short about it. But we are 1 week away from the anniversary, and the choices between Ravi, Denise, or Ravi and Jack. No, I get this wrong every time. Denise and Jack, for fuck's sake. I get it wrong every time. My brain gets confused. I wish it was Ravi and Jack. That would be more interesting. But admittedly, Jack's not really had much build to this, has he? Has Denise and Jack shown any potential of rekindling? No, not at all. They had little brief moments, but fundamentally, you're supposed to, as a viewer, you're supposed to say, no, her and Ravi is a good idea, right? Even though Ravi's just kissed Priya, which a lot of people think is their endgame. So they're gonna, yes, admittedly, Jack and Denise had 5 years of marriage or whatever, but no, they were never really used much till the last 2 years or so. So you're supposed to pick a man who basically treated her like a mother to his kids that he never really appreciated, or you have a guy who likes the idea of her but still is a petulant child and potentially has some unfinished business with his ex. The build to this decision has been really, really weak. And I really wish there was a third option, which was Denise chooses Denise.
Yeah, I don't, I honestly, after seeing this week, I don't want Ravi and Denise. I don't want Jack and Denise. I want Ravi and Priya and Jack in the hot tub. Or the jacuzzi, whatever it is. Also, just want to say, right, I know he's a copper. He's making some skrilla to afford a hot tub in the back garden.
Mate, he's minted as fuck.
Yeah, I love how everyone is just talking about Denise and Ravi, Denise and Jack. But no one's bringing up the hot tub. I'm like, he has a hot tub in his back garden. Jesus, in Walford of all places, he better get guests over in the summer. Better get Phil there and his little dogs. Go on, Phil, get in the pool. Go on, swim. Get Nigel in there. Get lads in there. Two guys chilling in a pool, 6 feet apart because they're not gay. The classic reference. But yeah, I don't get, like, you've done no hype for Denise and Jack. But I did make the joke, and I'm not going to say his name. It's going to be like the election of 2024, where it's going to be like, Ravi and Denise are going to win. What? Jack and Denise won? What the fuck? Who predicted that? Like, I genuinely, in my gut feeling, I have it in my head. I know it probably won't happen because I'm putting faith in the EastEnders community that it won't happen. But in my head, I'm just imagining the executive producers are sat back there in their chairs, like, okay, Chris, you've got the results. Is it Ravi and Denise, or Jack and Denise? And it's like, please be Ravi, please be Ravi. What the fuck is this? Why is it Jack? Who voted this?
I don't think either options are very, very good.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, I don't think either of them are particularly interesting, and that's the big fanfare vote. Maybe we aren't the average viewer, sure, but fundamentally, it's just not. It just doesn't feel very good, and it doesn't build any hype for me because I don't want to see Denise in any of these couples, man.
Yeah.
And what's the point? They're both bad for her. Couldn't she just, like I said, could we just choose herself?
Yeah, and I guess I'm finished with that point, and I guess we're near the end of the podcast. It's probably 5 p.m. Can you believe that? I slept in and I missed my train. It is time for the awards. So very quickly, if you don't know, the awards is our awards of the week, where we just go through like what we think is good, bad, and worse. The awards are who needs slapping down. Obviously, that's easy. It's like someone who needs slapping down because they're just bad. Not bad, but like they're evil, I guess. The Keanu Taylor Award of Excellence, which is just someone who's very wooden, because Keanu was very wooden. And underrated. So we're going to go in the order that is underrated first. Ash, who's underrated for you?
Bernie. Mostly just because in my brain it felt like she did. So it felt like she did the burglar thing like intentionally, but I know it wasn't intentional. But I like to believe she's like mad on power now that she has like potential money behind her.
Underrated for me. Right, who is underrated? That is brilliant. Actually, I'm going to go for just Jack and Ravi's argument because I did feel like two school children fighting. That was pretty underrated for me. Just them. I'll actually I fucked your dad. So fuck off.
Honourable mentions for me is Yolande when she's commenting on the revelation where they're all having a drink and she's like, she just making like slightly out of pocket comments, just about Denise's situation, just funny.
Yeah, I'd go for that as well. And next up is the Keanu Taylor Award of Excellence. If you don't know, this is the award for most wooden. Like I said, who is the most wooden? Well, that is pretty simple. I'm going for Jack's hot tub or Jack. So yeah.
Cindy's method of choosing who attacked her. Ah, you hate me. It must be you, Cindy. We all hate you. Ah, Ian, you attacked me. It's like, what? No, you did. It just there's only so many times she can accuse someone and be surprised when people remind her that everybody hates you. It's just mental. Cindy's victim complex, unchanging, forever stable.
Yeah, and the last were we did on the radio. Who needs slapping down? Who needs slapping down? Well, I'm going. I don't want to do. I don't because he is struggling, but I'm going for Phil. Just Phil losing everyone. You're talking at step 2. You can insult Nigel, but you can't go near Albie. Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking at step too far. Albie has great acting skills. We all remember that. Mama. So who's
very true?
Who needs slapping down for you?
Just Chris Glenshaw for making this love triangle a fan vote.
Fair enough. And without further ado, that is the end of the podcast. I hope you. I'm going to try and stall this out for 10 more seconds. I hope you enjoyed this. We are here every Sunday at 8 a.m. So I hope you enjoy this. Leave your comments down below what you think, what you want to see. Is there anything you'd improve on? Leave your thoughts on the AI stuff.
I suppose we didn't actually get to this, unfortunately. What did you actually think about the week of EastEnders?
Oh yeah, I didn't know because you did look a bit like I want to leave now, Piggy. So I was like, I don't know whether I bring it up now or just let
Go
it.
home. No, yeah, sure. It's the little small bit.
Yeah. My thoughts on the week. It's a very good week, but again, I can only say that so much because it's hard being a critic of something that is weekly. Like it's hard to do with like 53 weeks a year. Like it is
52.
very 52. It is hard to do it like constantly, but yeah, it's a sleeper week. Like I did love Jack and Ravi's argument. Sorry, I had a bit too much white lemonade. Did love Jack and Ravi's argument. I did love Jack's hot tub for some reason. Just that buckled me for some reason because I thought of Hot Tub Time Machine. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It's a decent movie.
Did you ever see 2?
I have not seen 2. It's too good.
Wow, no. Well, it's something. It's something else.
Yeah, I've tried to watch 2 actually. But anyways, I enjoy Barney like being given another year on a contract. She's staying until the big 2026. Reese I didn't really like, but it's expected. I've turned on Reese. It's like eating your favorite food every single day for a year. It's like, oh.
Maybe it doesn't taste that great the 50th day in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, like somewhat I do agree. Fundamentally, it was a decent enough week. It was quite enjoyable. It's just still a lot of the weeks itself have been fine. It's just it doesn't feel like it's fitting for the occasion. It's like we're turning up to a pool party in a suit. It's like what? It doesn't feel like it's following the road it's supposed to. Like we're supposed to be heating up for the 40th anniversary, and we kind of are, but in the same way, it's just not fully there yet. And yeah, sure, I'm sure Chris Glenshaw and the team and the actors and producers and writers and directors will all knock it out the park as and when it comes to bat. But still, it's just for now and after it's over, unless they really, really completely change the course, we're probably going to be lamenting what should have been.
Yeah. And I guess just on that note, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Again, to leave your thoughts. Bye bye. See you.